Hi, and welcome to Concussion Class with me. I'm your host, Dr. DeWitt. And on this free webinar, we'll cover how to determine if a concussion has occurred and the specific steps for return to play. And not only return to play, but return to school if you're in school right now. So you can use these techniques to sleep better at night, knowing that you're doing everything you can to protect you and your loved ones from concussions. Plus, you have an opportunity to ask a former NFL player, me, now doctor, what to expect with concussions if you do happen to have one or any other type of injury related to head trauma during a contact sport. Plus, my purpose for this is to make sure that players, coaches, parents, medical staff, training staff, we're all on the same page so we know exactly what's going on. So that way there's no fear involved, because fear only comes when you're not aware of what's going on. If you know what people are supposed to be doing and what to look out for, then that's something that will ease your mind and help you sleep better at night. Plus, I even show you a specific way to add a whole nother level of protection for your brain to help it to fight back against the risks of a concussion, or if you do have a concussion, to help heal it even faster, because there are a lot of metabolic changes that happen after concussion. We go into that in this free webinar. So here's just a sample of what we'll answer for you on this incredible web class. So now we're going to find out, are the categories of concussions still considered viable? So are those categories of concussions, mild, moderate to severe, are those still viable? We'll find out. Are we doing everything we can to prevent concussions in our young athletes? Every single thing we can. Don't we owe that to them, don't we? We'll find out on this webinar. Now, do we have changes that we've made to the on-field and the sideline exams that we do now since that movie Concussion has come out and since all the hoopla about concussions? Have there been any significant changes? We'll find out. And how do parents know when to take their concussed athlete to the emergency room? I mean, if they are sleeping too much, not enough, if they're irritable, it's a wide variety of symptoms that you have to look out for. And as a parent, you need to take care of them, as you know, because they're your little baby. And we'll let you know what those are and actually give you a downloadable PDF printout that you can have so you know exactly what to look out for. You can put that on your fridge. It's excellent. We also will look into how long should parents look for symptoms after a concussion. So is it a day, 2 days, a week, 2 weeks? How long should they look for symptoms after a concussion? We'll also find out what the 6-step concussion protocol from the CDC is. We'll go into detail in that, as well as several other things that the CDC has put out there regarding concussions. We want to know, are there any additional risk factors that could increase your risk for having a concussion? So any additional factors, maybe kind of like diabetes can be a risk factor for heart disease, things like that. Are there any specific risk factors that can make an athlete more susceptible to concussions? We're going to cover that. How do coaches know if a player can return to play or not? If they have an injured player, are they ready to go after a series or after a certain amount of time? How do they know? How do the coaches know? We're going to cover it. What are the King DeVic test and the SCAT-2 assessment tools, and how are they used today? Really important information. Cutting edge stuff. Now, what are the 5 steps to evaluating if a player is ready to return to play? The 5 specific steps. And not only return to play, but return to school too. So that's something that people don't talk about. We're going to cover it in this webinar. And much, much more. So don't miss this breakthrough webinar that will finally keep your athletes' brains safe, their scholarship chances alive, and their risk for early neurodegenerative conditions at a minimum. We owe it to them, we owe it to ourselves to do everything we can to protect our brains and the brains of our loved ones from concussions and the dangers of contact sports. So I'll see you on the webinar.